top secret recipe coming at you. I'm making petit fours today. I've been holding on to my petit four icing recipe for 16 years, but I'm letting the cat out of the bag. So here we are. I'm going to teach you how I do it, and you can watch me fall into a sugar coma because I will probably eat all of these by myself. Let's do it.
Okie dokie then. So we have a pan with some simmering water, not boiling, just simmering, because we're going to make a double boiler. We have the sugar here. It's powdered sugar, light corn syrup, vanilla and almond extracts. And I'm using a pound cake today because that's my favorite. I've also got some water and some dipping utensils here, which you can use anything you want. This is just my preference. So as far as cake goes, use what you like. Just make sure it's cold. So I'm using pound cake. I decided to slice it this way. It's just easier for me when I get the cookie cutter out to cut it how I want and make sure that it's all uniform as much as it can be. If you're using, like, let's say a square cake, just level it so that they're thin layers, and then you can ice the whole layer, stack another on top of it, and cut it out from there. That's also a good way to do it. There are a million ways to skin a cat, which is actually the worst saying ever, but here we are. I like to use my leftovers to make cake pops. So now I'm going to sandwich these with some American buttercream. You can find that recipe all over the internet. I'm eventually going to make one of those videos too and have them up here. You see those little pockets of air? Throw some buttercream in there because yummy, extra buttercream. And I always make sure I have the pretty side up so when I dip these later, they look gorgeous. All right, so here we have 3 cups of the confectioner sugar, 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon each of vanilla, which I made a mess with, and almond extract. And I'll put all of this in the description box below. So I'm gently bringing this together. It makes a mess. Working with powdered sugar is the worst. That's like the least favorite part of my job, yet I do it every day. I'm lazy and I don't want to clean it up. So here's the thing, petit fours are persnickety. This recipe is a little persnickety, so just heads up, it is so worth it once you get it down. You don't want to go above 100 degrees Fahrenheit here, so if you have a thermometer, I recommend you use it. I've been doing this for so long, I kind of go by eye. You can make little ribbons in it like that, and you want them to dissolve slowly, and then you know you've got it right. Another good tip here is to take it on and off the heat to keep that temperature right so it doesn't get too thick. So this is the way that I dip my petit fours. It's the way I've done it forever. I'm just very careful once I set it to swipe that knife, just like that. Another way you could do this is on a metal cooling rack. You could just line up your cakes on there and pour the icing over it. I don't like to do it that way because it's so messy and I don't like to scrape up the icing. The cool thing about this icing is that you can reheat it in the double boiler. So you know, any way that you want to go about attacking these, go for it, whatever works for you. I will say, and I've said it earlier, because these are kind of difficult, you kind of need to find your own rhythm and the thing that works best for you. They are so worth it though, I promise you. You might even get it your first time. Whoops, flip that one back over. I didn't, but then again, that was 16 years ago and I'd never really made anything before. So I'm hoping I've given you some tips that have helped you that I wish I had in the beginning when I was making these. So I'm going to add a dollop of icing on top. This brings it all together. This chick is all about the icing, so I'm going to put like giant dollops of fluffy, floury buttercream. Yep, see, I went back to that one to give it extra. Just on top of these. And I have them in these little metal cupcake tins. For some reason, they're like, what's the word? Not pretentious petit fours. No, they're just more elegant. I don't know, the reflection makes them look even more beautiful. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you give them a try. Hit the subscribe button, like all that jazz, and I will be back with more. Thanks for watching.